question. When is it okay to randomly go up to people, even if you happen to be in the middle of a discussion on the Senate or House or any other committee floor? When is it okay to just ask about their genitalia? I have a question. Do you have a hot dog or do you have a roast beef taco? All right, guys, so the Republicans down in Arkansas, they are not okay. And if you know what incident I'm referring to already, then don't spoil it for anybody. But the Arkansas State Senator Matt McKee decided to ask a pharmacist who happened to be trans some very inappropriate questions for no good reason. And then we got some other stuff to cover where that's concerned as well. But let's go ahead and get into the fan art section first, and then we'll go ahead and get into the topic at hand. So this first one here is from Axo That Has Cream. So originally was just drawing the pony, but then I got an idea to make an anthology parody based on the channel, and now here we are. Sorry about the stupid singing, and if the song gets the video demonetized, I don't know if anthropology is copyright safe. P.S. I couldn't think of an easy way to put the audio because I don't do audio stuff much, and looking back on it, I could have done it a lot better. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and hear it anyway. Axo? I don't know if this is going to get demonetized. We'll find out.
Slimy beings fascinate me, being just the way they are. Tell me, little pony, have you seen a being like Tar? Sometimes they get up to mischief, so we shove them in a jar. It's a mystery. Skepticology.
Axo says, shit, what, you didn't think I was going to play it? You didn't think I was going to play the audio that you recorded and put in the fan art section? You put it there? Thank you very much, Axo. I greatly appreciate both the art and the parody song. And we'll find out if it gets demonetized on YouTube. We'll find out. The next one we have here is from Gamer Grill. I recently found your YouTube, and I love that you use a VTuber model for your content. Cat Slime Suris is so cute. I had to draw her, and hope you like it. Also, here's the background image that I made, because I'm real proud of it. Well, thank you very much, Gamer Girl, and thank you very much, Axolotls That Has Cream, for both of your amazing pieces of fan art. Guys, if you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, let's go ahead and get right into things after you subscribe and hit the bell notification icon, because, well, this is an incident that you probably already know about, but if not...
You said that you're a trans woman.
I trans female, yes, ma'am, sir.
Do you have a penis?
That's horrible.
Yeah. You're the one that brought that into the discussion.
So, I have a question. When is it okay to randomly go up to people, even if you happen to be in the middle of a discussion on the Senate or House or any other committee floor? When is it okay to just ask about their genitalia? I have a question. Do you have a hot dog or do you have a roast beef taco? It's inappropriate. There's not a point where it's appropriate. The only time that you can actually think that it's appropriate is if you have thoroughly dehumanized a trans person to the point where it seems appropriate to ask, well, inappropriate questions to them. These are things that we would not ask other people in society normally, and yet he brings it up. And the argument can go like, oh, well, you said you're trans, you brought genitalia into the argument. No, a trans person did not bring genitalia into the argument by telling you they're trans. Not all trans people get their genitalia changed. There are trans people who just get top surgery and never get bottom surgery. There are trans people who never get top or bottom surgery and just let HRT do its thing. There are trans people who do not go on HRT and merely change their pronouns and the way they comport themselves and rely on binders and other ways of showing their gender that don't involve chemically altering themselves or physically altering themselves. There are trans people of all shapes and sizes. What they have in your pants is not your concern unless you want a trans person to answer a gun. But anyways, that's not all of the clip I wanted to show you. There's...
You said that you're a trans woman.
I trans female, yes, ma'am, sir.
Do you have a penis?
That's horrible.
Yeah. You're the one that brought that into the discussion.
I
You're the one that
never
brought that
said
into
anything about genitalia.
Oh, it
Is
has
there-
everything to do with it, I can tell you.
I don't know.
It has everything to do with genitalia. No, it really doesn't. Intersex people are basically evidence of that.
My rights are right now. I'm a healthcare professional, a doctor. Please treat me as such. Next question, please.
Senator McKee, that you asked my friend if she had a penis, and I would just like to tell you that even if you have a penis, it doesn't mean that you have honor or that you're a man.
Listen, I talked to a 10-year-old girl back in the fall, and you know where she got her idea to have one of these surgeries? Off of TikTok. Because the Chinese were showing this little girl on TikTok.
The Chinese! Discordant Volt, thank you very much for the 100-bit cheer. The Chinese were showing you. Look, TikTok may be a Chinese app. It may be an app based in China, but that does not mean that the Chinese are showing your children the things on TikTok. It's algorithm based, my guy.
They said, this has changed my life.
And focus on the implications on the mental health of trans and non-binary youth. One part of this bill stipulates that a trans minor must have no other mental health concerns. This alone would make nearly all trans youth ineligible for any gender-related care.
Almost as if a lot of times when people are trans, they end up having comorbidities with mental health, because when you are trans, the way you are treated and the friends who will leave you because you are trans magnifies. There are families that disown you for being trans. There are friends who will leave you for being trans. There are lovers who will leave you for being trans. And that can have a huge negative effect on your mental health. Almost as if it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Just make sure the trans people are sufficiently abused, and then make sure the abuse triggers enough mental health issues to where the trans people are not able to get health care because, well, they've got these mental health issues that we created for them.
2 of these individuals have made unsuccessful attempts at their own suicide over the course of this past month. Each one of these expressed to me that this conversation being had by our legislature and these laws that are trying to be passed by you guys is directly affecting their mental health and their concerns that the state that they were born and raised in, that they must consider having to run away with their family and seek to find other places that can help them live their lives as themselves.
I mean, literally, I have heard from trans friends of mine that if Trump gets elected this year, they're going to try to find a way to leave the country, which is something that they feel they need to do for their own safety. And it means that people who I love dearly, I will never get to see again because they will be leaving the country to be safe somewhere else.
Gender affirming care that these teenagers receive, or that they have been able to receive in the past, beyond that, it just lets them know that they are loved and affirmed for who they are. With this bill, it won't affect 99% of Arkansans or more, 99.9. But the people who it does affect, the message they receive from this is that the state they live in hate them. That's the message they receive from this.
Which is true. Your politicians hate you. If you are a minority group and you are one of the very few people affected by a bill, then that means that a politician hated you enough to make sure that you specifically were targeted by a bill. This is in regards to SB 199. So please go ahead and check that particular bill out when you have a chance specifically. But we have to ask ourselves, why is the GOP obsessed? Why is this the hill that they're dying on? Well, there's a couple of reasons for it. And the main one, Spectral Pirate, thank you for redeeming your points we're in the middle of a nuke, so, oh, whoa. Jasa Proxy, you as well. I saw yours. Oh, whoa. 10 more minutes of torture, and then that can stop. Then I can be fine. And then it'll be done! But remember Chris Rufo? I pointed out before he ever released all of his documentation, and then have been saying it over and over again since he did, that the conversation, by and large, would move from being focused mostly on people's race to people's gender. As soon as the CRT panic died out, and it was time to create a new moral panic. This is functionally the GOP's satanic panic. Politicians of all stripes do their best when there is a crisis that they can stand on and a podium they can shout from. The GOP largely has decided that it is most advantageous of them to choose the podium of trans rights and to fight against them. Because from the perspective of a GOP politician, their constituents are largely people who don't like gay people and trans people. And, well, you can read the Southern strategy if you don't believe any of the words I'm saying, but they also tend to have very particular views on race. Now, this is not to say that all people who are Republicans are transphobic, all people who are Republicans are racist or homophobic. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the GOP, the actual Republican Party itself, their governing body has decided that the most profitable thing for them, and never doubt that it's anything other than profit, it is profit for the sake of gaining power. The most profitable thing they can do as a political body is to virtue signal on these issues, to harm these groups. Harming trans people increases the likelihood that they will get votes. And if you wanted to dehumanize somebody so thoroughly that you'd be able to talk about their genitalia out in public without anybody blinking an eye, well, one of the ways you would do it is to make them nothing more than political leverage, stepping on them so that you can get just a handful of more votes from bigots. Not every Republican has to be a bigot for the GOP to recognize that the majority of them are willing to vote on a particular line of bigotry. And make no mistake, if you're voting Republican, this is what you're voting for. You can say that you do not agree with everything they're saying, and I can understand that sentiment to a point. But at the same time, you need to recognize that this is really affecting people. This is affecting your loved ones. There are people that you don't know, haven't come out of the closet as trans yet. I guarantee you, there's probably somebody you've had a crush on for years who might come out as trans. And when that day comes, you're going to have to figure out exactly how you're going to handle that situation. Are you going to be the person that hears that and then goes, that makes me really uncomfortable. I guess I don't want to be around you anymore. That makes me uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Or are you going to be the person that actually lifts that other person up and goes, it's okay. It's okay to be you, and it's okay to be you around me. Let's go ahead and get you taken care of. Let's go ahead and make sure that you have reasons to smile. You can make the choice every day to be one or the other. But when you witness performative cruelty like what the GOP is doing, I can only ask that you choose not to be the person who engages in that performative cruelty. You have the ability to make somebody's day, to make them smile. But if you're so concerned with whether or not you are, quote, right about their gender, then you may end up losing your friends, sometimes in more permanent ways than you're willing to accept. But that said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already, all that other fun stuff, and insert end of video tagline here.